Hello, Mrs. B here, and in lesson 6 of ancient Egypt, we are going to learn about what the ancient Egyptians believed. This is part 1, so when you have finished, go straight to part 2. So this is Mahat, the goddess of truth and justice, and this is Ra, the god of the sun. So let's dive in and learn about their gods. Here are some stories that the Egyptians told. Before time began, there was only darkness. The god Atum rose out of the darkness. Atum had a big eye that could see the whole universe. Atum joined with his shadow to produce a daughter called Tefnut and a son called Shu. Tefnut became the goddess of mist moisture, and her brother Shu the god of the air. There was still lots of darkness, however everything was a mess and there was no order in the universe. Tefnut and Shu were given the job of tidying up and bringing order. Another goddess called Mahat helped them to do this tidying up. Mahat was always shown with light and feathers. This is a painting of Mahat. Notice how her feathers are neat, tidy and well ordered. Remember to stop the video to look at the pictures. Tefnut and Shu had 2 children, Nut the sky and Geb the earth. The goddess of Nut made rain for the god Geb so he could make the plants grow. At the beginning of every day, Nut gave birth to the sun. The sun then died at the end of each day. The Egyptians used these stories to explain the movement of the sun. Tefnut and Shu produced other gods such as Isis, the queen of the gods, Hathor, the goddess of love and beauty, Osiris, the god of death, and Seth, the god of evil. When Atum's tears hit the earth, they became the very first humans. The gods wanted the humans to keep the balance of Mahat by growing crops by the Nile and worshipping the gods. In return, the gods protected and loved the humans. Egyptians believed that the more good things a man did to keep the balance of Mahat, the lighter his heart became. When a man died, the god Anubis weighed his heart against a feather from Mahat. If the heart was heavy with bad things, it would be eaten and the man would not live on in the afterlife. We'll find out about that in another lesson. Many Egyptians tried hard to make their souls very light. The ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses. There were over 2,000 ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses. Each god or goddess had a different role or area of expertise. Some gods and goddesses became more famous and the whole of Egypt worshipped them. Some people supported gods to follow their profession, like Thoth, the god of scribes. The gods and goddesses wore different clothes and held different objects. Many gods were represented with the head of an animal, and here we can see this one looks like the head of a cat. Anubis. Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of the dead. His role was to guide the souls of the dead to the Hall of Truth. We'll learn about that in a later lesson. Ra. Ra is the ancient Egyptian sun god. His role was to rule over the land of the living and the dead. Now go to part 2. Thank you. Bye-bye.